Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like the Like the rest of the world, I was horrified to see the dire humanitarian crisis unfold throughout Afghanistan in August. The circumstances leading to this tragedy were completely unavoidable and were a direct result of a leadership void in the Biden administration. This administration must learn from these failures, and so they do not repeat these mistakes in the future. Furthermore, we must ensure that the mechanisms we have in place to vet individuals coming from Afghanistan are sufficient and prioritize the safety and security of our citizens and of our nation. Although the heartbreaking images from Hamid Karzai International Airport will forever be ingrained in our country's conscience, I'm encouraged by the fact that many Americans, both at home and abroad, have stepped up to the plate to help their fellow men in time of need. The testimonies provided by each of the witnesses today prove that, and I thank you. So my first question is for Ms. Bahram. I'm not sure if you saw the heartbreaking article in the Wall Street Journal this weekend about a mother who is being coerced to hand over her 3-year-old daughter to a man who lent her money so she could survive the aftermath of the humanitarian crisis. It's reported that the loan resulted in an insurmountable debt load that she could not bear. It was $550. And he demanded payment. The article goes on to discuss the dire conditions in Afghanistan, including a UN report that states 95% of Afghans are suffering from malnutrition leading into the winter months. And I understand that your organization is the largest women's organization in Afghanistan, with over 850 local Afghan staff working tirelessly to provide support services to women, children, and families. So my question is, how has your staff in the United States and in Afghanistan been affected by the withdrawal, and what steps are you having to take to assist staff and clients in Afghanistan?
Thank you, sir. As mentioned, we have over 1,200 staff in Afghanistan. Majority of them are at high risk because they are women rights and human rights defenders. And majority of them work with families who were, with women who were survivors of domestic violence or underage marriages or forced marriages, and fight Taliban in order to get the woman to safety. So our staff in Afghanistan obviously have been under a lot of risk, and we unfortunately were unable to evacuate any of them during the evacuation period. It has affected us personally, professionally. I have had losses during the war in Afghanistan. From the day I was born till now, I haven't seen a day of peace. But the past few weeks have been the darkest days of my life. I'm sorry. Knowing people do not have a simple food to eat, having a simple dinner on my dining table has been very difficult.
I'm sorry.
Knowing people do not have access into their bank account, and I being able to get my paycheck has been very difficult. Knowing people have been separated from their children at the airport, and hundreds of killed at that explosion, many bodies not recovered, one that I know personally, has been very difficult to live with my family. So I think it's a time for us to understand the importance of humanitarian aids for Afghanistan, and knowing that we should not let the people suffer anymore. As an Afghan American, I feel as an American we are responsible and we owe them. Because the past 20 years there have been a lot of achievements, not only for women's rights, but throughout the country. And having now kids 12 years and older sitting at home and not being able to go to school is our failure.
Yeah, so everything that has been achieved, or much that has been achieved, I just see us losing that. And it is indeed a very, very terrible humanitarian crisis. So, Mr. Chairman, I would like to ask to submit the following article titled, "As Afghanistan Sinks into Destitution, Some Sell Children to Survive," for the record.
Without objection.
Thank you. And I see my time has expired. I have one more question, if you will allow me.
If it's a quick one, go ahead, sir.
All right. For Ms. Marco, according to the International Rescue Committee's website, your organization has helped resettle more than 16,000 SIVs since 2006. So you obviously have seen the extent of the paperwork and the burdensome regulations that have hindered our allies' ability to have their SIV applications processed in a timely manner. So in an attempt to reduce some of this red tape, the House passed the Bipartisan Allies Act of 2021, yet this bill has not passed the Senate, and the problems associated with the CIV process have reared their ugly head during the evacuation process in Afghanistan. Our nation ended up leaving thousands of people who supported our coalition's mission in Afghanistan while evacuating many who did not. Those left behind now are being targeted by the Taliban. Can you provide the committee with your thoughts, very, very briefly, on how Congress could better improve the CIV program and better support our future allies who have risked all to help us achieve our strategic goals?
Thank you. In my testimony, I did offer correcting the P2 program, expanding it to make it eligible for more folks that do not qualify for the time limits under the SIV. But all the programs could be made more streamlined to get more people timely relief.
Thank you very much. And with that, I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Clyde.